Hello and welcome to our video here on Fire Prevention Week. My name is Dan Dowling. I'm the Regional Communications Manager for the Red Cross of Northern New England, and I'm joined today by our Preparedness Pro, Abby Kelly. She is the Regional Preparedness Manager for the Red Cross of Northern New England. Abby, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we are in Fire Prevention Week, a big week where the Red Cross tries to get the word out about fire prevention and keeping families and homes safe. We're getting into the fall season now. We are inside more. We're gathering with friends and family more, and it's very important to know what to prepare for when it comes to home fires. Abby, start by talking about the causes for home fires and what do people maybe not necessarily expect when we talk about home fire prevention?
Well, I would say that there are three top reasons for home fires. The first is kitchen. So we always say, keep an eye on what you fry. We like to have little sayings if we can. So basically, not leaving anything that is on the stove or in the oven unattended as much as possible. Also, a lot of us keep our kitchen towels on our stoves. That would be a great thing that you could go out today and do is to go ahead and take those kitchen towels right off your oven, find a different place for them because they are flammable and that can cause a fire as well. The second top reason for home fires is heating and electricity. So there are a couple of things that we want to talk about there. First of all, keep everything 3 feet from the heat, which sounds a little strange, but we want to make sure that anything that you are heating your home with, especially things like space heaters in the fall, as the temperatures get colder, we're staying inside more and our heat does go on. So thinking about making sure that everything is at least 3 feet from that heat. I know in Northern New England, a lot of times we'll hang things that are wet on our heaters. Not a great idea. That is definitely a fire hazard. The other thing that you want to think about with electrical is when we're charging up all of our smartphones and laptops and all of those great devices that we have. Make sure that those are on a hard surface when you are charging them up. We don't want them on things like couches or beds or anything like that. And then also, if you can, charge them when you're awake. If you were to have an issue, you would be alerted much quicker if you were awake. The last biggest reason for home fires is those candles. And I know that they smell wonderful and they are give a nice ambiance, but make sure that you're keeping an eye on those candles. They do have an open flame, so they are highly flammable and they can cause a lot of damage in our homes.
Absolutely. Great tips, Abby. And thank you for sending or talking about those things. In talking about fire prevention, there's lots of tools that families and homes can access that, mitigate the risk and keep your family safe. Things like flashlights that certainly replace your candles, but also fire extinguishers and smoke detectors. Can you talk a little bit about tools and things that people should have on hand and ready to go for fire prevention?
Absolutely. So the tools that you just talked about are really important. Thinking about if you can with candles, for example, maybe you can get a battery operated. They do have the ones that look like the flame is moving, so that's a nice idea. Also, fire extinguishers. A lot of us may have fire extinguishers in our houses, but unfortunately, we don't know how to use them. So it would be great to go ahead and find out how to use them. You can do that by either looking it up online, or you can call your local fire department. They're more than happy to help you learn about how to use those fire extinguishers. And finally, smoke alarms. Having a working smoke alarm decreases your chance of having a home fire by 50%. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
just by having a working smoke alarm in your home, and I always think about this because that smoke alarm is going to give you time to escape from the home fire if you do have one. So making sure that you have a smoke alarm in each of your sleeping areas. And we talk about sleeping areas versus bedrooms because you might have somebody that's staying on your couch for an extended period of time. So that would become a sleeping area. So we want to have smoke alarms, at least one on each floor of your home. And then we also want to have them inside of the sleeping area and directly outside of the sleeping area.
And those are the great tips. And if for folks who maybe are interested in getting a smoke detector or an additional smoke detector, the Red Cross provides that service. We have a website people can go to, redcross.org/endhomefiresnne. You can go there and there's a form you can sign up and request a smoke detector, and certainly give your family an extra bit of security. Maybe you need an extra smoke alarm, or certainly, talk a bit, Abby, about checking smoke alarms, making sure they're working properly. Are there different types of smoke detectors? What should people look for when having one in their home?
Well, first of all, we want to think about smoke alarms. Our smoke goes up, okay? And that's why we place them typically on the ceiling or very close to the ceiling. When you think about, a lot of people have found that they want the CO, the carbon monoxide, as well as the smoke detectors or smoke alarms. And so those you can get in a dual, and a lot of people have those. We also have CO detectors that will just plug right in. And the type of carbon monoxide actually goes down. So the closer to the ground that they are, the better those would be in your home. As far as your smoke alarms and testing them and things like that, we encourage you to test them once a month, which seems like a lot. So if you can't remember to do that, try to remember to do them every time we change our clocks, at least. Okay.
Right.
And then we also want to test them, but smoke alarms get old, which a lot of people don't realize. So if your smoke alarm is between 7 to 10 years old, even if you press that red button and it still makes a sound, the actual detector within the smoke alarm, it could be old. And so we want to make sure that we know the age of our smoke alarms, and also making sure that they're free of dust and debris is really helpful to make sure that they're working at their best. And again, please feel free to look at that website that you had talked about, the redcross.org/endhomefiresnne. You can sign up for free smoke alarms. We will also come in and do some education with you. We will evaluate what smoke alarms you already have in the home, make sure that they are a good age, and then replace for completely free of charge any alarms that are old or not working.
Excellent. Great tips, Abby. And if you're watching this video and you know someone who might need a smoke alarm, certainly share this video, share this link, and get the word out, because we are out there providing this service. So, Abby, great tips on what we can do right now, tools that we could use to help us with fire prevention. What about having a plan and having little kids in the house who are maybe not aware of fire prevention? What can we work with when talking about our kids and talking about our families about maybe having a plan in the event of a fire in our home?
That's really important, and thank you for bringing it up. So, as far as our plans are concerned, there are a couple of things that we want to consider. First of all, like you said, who is actually in our home? Do we have children? Do we have older adults? Do we have any types of pets or animals within our home? So, we want to think about all of them. And basically, we want to actually write down our plan. Okay. Once we've written it down, we want to practice our plan. So we want to make sure that we can get out of our houses within 2 minutes or less. That is all the amount of time that we have to get out safely. So when we're thinking about practicing our plan, if you do have children in the home, for example, it's great to get them involved in your planning. So maybe you want to let them make the sound like we are having a fire drill. So they could be the ones that get that started. Okay. Or we want to make sure that they know what the sound of the smoke alarm sounds like. So get them involved in the planning. Then once we are out and or maybe you could even have your children timing to see if everybody in the household can get out in 2 minutes or less. Once we're out, though, it's really important to have a safe meeting place. We want that safe meeting place out in the front of your home. We want to make sure it is a far enough distance away from your home, and it is in the same place year round. So you don't want to have a different place, during the summer versus the winter time. Once you get out to that safe meeting place, that's the time to call 911. And you also want to make sure that everybody in your household knows how to call 911. So have that plan in place, practice your plan, get out in 2 minutes or less, and then have a specific meeting place, get to that meeting place in time.
Great tips, Abby. Thank you so much for sharing that. Hopefully we can get the word out and get families fire ready for the winter season. It is coming up quickly. Anything else you'd like to add, Abby, about fire prevention and home fire safety?
I think what's most important is that home fires are preventable. So if we can take those couple of really easy tips, make sure that we're doing those things, practicing our plan, making sure that we have free working smoke alarms, we can prevent home fires altogether.
Absolutely. Well said. And throughout Fire Prevention Week and throughout the year, we're going to be providing plenty of resources on our social media channels. So anyone who is watching our video now on social media, make sure you share this video and keep tuned to the rest of our social media as we go through the course of the week here. Abby Kelly, thank you so much for joining us. Great to have you back. It's always good to talk to you. And thank you, everyone, for watching. And have a great week. Thanks. Take care.